Hey y'all, what's up, man? Welcome back to the O'Shea Vlogcast, man. I'm back. You guys know who it is. The one and the only Steve the Dean Williams. He's no stranger to this channel, brother. So y'all already know how it works over here. Today we have a little bit of a different topic. We're going a little bit mainstream today. And the reason why we're going a little mainstream is because it's a hot topic all over the internet. People doing videos getting like buku thousands of views, man. It's crazy right now. And what we're talking about is not necessarily the subject per se or the people, but we're talking about why do men fight over women. So just a quick recap. As you know, the BET Awards was in LA yesterday. Safaree Samuels was there. Meek Mill showed up in an SUV and had his boys jump out the car. They jumped this guy. And as you know, Safaree Samuels had Nicki Minaj first. Then she was emailing him or something like that. Nicki Minaj told Meek Mill. Meek Mill was like, "Why you emailing my girl?" And so these dudes have had a beef ever since. And the funny thing is, Nicki Minaj has now moved on. She ain't with neither one of those dudes, but those dudes are still fighting over a chick that neither one of them has. Let's talk to the Dean about dudes like this, Dean. I know you shaking your head, fam. I know it's tough and rough, but let's talk about why men do this. How do you help men get over chicks like this? What's really going on? Oh, there goes Jimmy. What up, Jimmy? You look kind of cute, girl.
You're crazy. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm about to take you get you some KFC, baby.
You so silly. Not Popeyes, but KFC, huh?
Yeah, KFC. Okay, so what we're gonna talk. Let's Steve rock, and I'm gonna come back to Jimmy and get her that. But so let's go ahead here, Steve. Let's talk about why do men do this? What's the problem here?
Well, at first I want to say what's up, Kaepernick killer, but yeah, Safari Meek Mills again. You can tell they're males who can't. Can I cuss? Can I cuss?
Yeah, come on, man. You
Oh,
know.
well, fuck. Okay. Well, these are two bitch ass motherfuckers that can't fuck. You can tell they can't fuck by the way they acting. You always
Say
got
it
to
again.
remember
Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
they can't fuck by the way they acting. They acting like a bunch of bitches because the thing is, when you know how to fuck and you're a man about your shit, you can meet a million Mickey Minaj's out in the world, man, but they'll rarely meet a motherfucker like you. So they're over there pandering over some pussy that's all plastic and made up and ain't shit. But it shows what kind of character they have. But what I always say for a lot of guys out there is that again, this is what a man mindset is about. It is all about you. I try to tell my clients all the time, you can get the pussy before you even get the pussy. You know what I mean? But they so busy, like most individuals, going for the pussy between a woman's legs and not between her ears. So then when they get all caught up, they get caught up in their feelings. When she wants to be with someone else, they act all insecure and bitchy and things. So it's so many things to say about this because you know what? A woman doesn't want a bitch. She wants someone who is in control, who's been there before. And as you can see, you should never fight over a woman. You look, you know what? That shows me what they do in the bedroom anyway. Because what I try to teach my guys, if you know how to kiss, eat pussy, and fuck the way we show you, you have the power to do something that most guys never done, and that's take the dick off the table. It's something rare to hear, but not too many motherfuckers know that if you got that power to make her toes curl like the Wicked Witch of the West when the house fell on the bitch on the Wizard of Oz and shit, you make her toes curl and shit. You could take your dick off the cable if she gets out of line, man.
Oh, okay, let me do this. So, Jimmy, I put you on mute just real quick. No, because you had a lot of shit in the background. So you do not take yourself off mute. Just go to the Google Hangouts and just hit the mic button and take yourself off of mute so you can talk. Because you had like a lot of noise in the background. I don't know if you had some cats blow drying and shit back in the back, or you were smoking weed or something, but you just had a lot of shit going on. You know how to do it. So okay, so Jimmy, in the Hangouts link.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
Oh, praise the Lord! Hallelujah!
Nobody does drugs in this house, okay?
You stopped yesterday?
There's not even alcohol in this house like that. So yeah. So nobody does drugs here. Stop it.
I know you've been on your Facebook post, man, like you've been doing some high ass shit. But let me ask you this. Let me ask you, Jimmy. have you heard about? I mean, you're a pretty girl. You've been here many times, and me and you are going to be. We did a lot of blog talk radio back in the day. If you have time, we'll be back doing blog talk radio like next month. Me and you on Steve's channel. That's Steve the Dean. So I'm actually going to join his network. So we'll be doing the blog talk on his network. So say hi to Steve the Dean. Jimmy.
Hi, how are you?
She's kind of cute, huh, Steve?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You
Bite
know,
her neck and take her up the tree.
Her breath though, it might be a little.
Oh, it might be breath. Oh,
No,
yeah. Get that fried chicken. Give her some Popeyes in.
No, she her breath though. But Jimmy, have you heard about the Meek Mill thing? The Meek Mill Safaree Samuels thing? You heard about that?
No, why they beefing?
Yeah, it's right there in LA. You're right there where the BT board is at. I mean, where you been? At work or something?
I work a lot, yeah. So I don't know. I just know about Meek Mill's blasting Nicki about her booty and all that other stuff.
But let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because
being butthurt and stuff like that. I know that.
This is good though. Let's talk about that because you're a pretty woman. You're very attractive. I'm pretty sure you get a lot of dudes that you reject or have rejected. And then they will have some kind of animosity over you. Or maybe you had an ex-boyfriend and the next guy you start dating, maybe he will try to threaten that guy. Have you ever been in a situation like that before?
Not that messy. Not as messy as that, but messy enough because I don't really do drama. But I've had like an ex try to talk mess to me about me, and then in the next sentence still want to be with me. Like it was like some craziness. I was like, you're bipolar, yo.
Stop the show. Let's focus on that. Now, when a guy talks mess about you, but still wants to be with you in the next sentence, what is your impression of this guy? Like, what do you think about him?
He's psycho. Something's wrong with him emotionally. Like emotionally unstable.
Mm-hmm. Do you think these guys are? Do you think they're a simp? Like, these guys? Is that a? What I'm trying to say is this a turnoff?
Definitely a turnoff. Because when you disrespect me and you talking to me crazy, I don't take disrespect. So that's no. So that's like you, like he clued himself out of there ever being a second chance of anything. Like once there's levels of crazy disrespect, I can't do it. I'll be like,
Now I'm gonna be not necessarily messy here, but Steve said that these guys who are fighting over maybe Nicki Minaj or beefing, a lot of guys beef with each other because they can't fuck or they can't please a woman. So this is a natural reaction. What do you feel about that? Because you heard everything he had to say. What's your opinion on what Steve was saying in that regard?
Well, I don't think it necessarily has anything to do with sex. I think it might have something to do with the emotional attachment that he might have or the guy may have to that woman. And he's in his feminine energy at that moment instead of masculine energy. And what I mean by that is like he's like not guarding himself, like to where he's looking at things in an actual factual matter. He's looking at it in an emotional standpoint, and he's acting out in his emotions because he's emotionally attached to that woman. And so I don't think it has anything to do with sex. It has everything to do with that emotional connection or emotional attachment to a woman, as of why a man would be in his feminine energy in that way. Not to say that men aren't attached that don't show emotion, but in that moment of their breakup, as I'm gonna just use Meek Mill because that's who y'all was using as an example. He was all in his feelings as of why he would run his mouth about somebody's booty being flattened and her having to go back and get surgery again. Like him just running off at the mouth like that meant he's hurt, so he wants to make her look bad because he's hurt in his feelings and is unguarded. Like he's not in his masculine energy. He's definitely in some feminine energy for sure.
Okay, let me do this. Good point. Let me go back to Steve the Dean. Steve, what's this? She's talking about feminine energy, masculine energy. I definitely know a lot of brothers, you know, a lot of men you work with, and shout out to LER Movement, he's on the call too. A lot of brothers you work with have a problem with being in their masculine energy. That's why they come to the dean, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, I agree when she said that he's in his feelings, but see, that's what I'm saying. You know, as a man, you know, it's one thing to have emotions, but it's another thing to be emotional. And this is what I'm talking about. When you don't know what you are, you don't have any standards. The way it should have been is that Nikki should feel like if she lost Meek Mills, it's like losing air. That's what we're trying to teach our guys, because the power base is always in you, because at the end of the day, like I've always said, she's going after your last name and your ring. So you got the upper hand, number one. But as you can see, like the young lady was saying, when you're in your feelings, that tells me behavior wise that you have no confidence in yourself and your abilities to please a woman, not only in the bedroom, but mentally, because it's not like she said, she's right. It's not just about the sex. It's about the emotional connection that you can give her as well. And if you can't give her the emotional connection and you can't beat that monkey meat up in the bedroom, then you're going to act like more like a bitch, insecure, you whine, and you're going to act more like the woman than the man in the relationship, big dog.
Good point. Let me do this. Let me get to LAR Movement. What up with your famo?
What's happening? What y'all doing, man?
Man, I'm just on here, man. Me and Steve the Dean rocking the show. It's the first time I've done the show with me and Steve and two other guests. So we just doing like kind of a group thing here and let me and Steve rock. Because, you know, you have done an individual show before. Me and Steve has done an individual show. Me and Jimmy have done, God, we do talk about Blog Talk Radio in YouTube. Probably over 60 or 70 shows. So, I mean, have you heard about this whole Meek Mill versus Safaree Samuels thing?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Okay, let's talk about this, because you got a lot of good insight to the game, man. Why is this happening? And why do simps fight over women? And just give your whole take on this whole thing. Maybe you see something that I didn't see.
First and foremost, much respect to you, Steve. Jimmy, what's happening?
What's good with you?
When it comes to this situation, it's funny because we got two guys who fake gangsters getting into a fight over a chick. That's not with either one of them. And last I saw, I think she with Nas now. Neither one of them will run up on him.
Oh, so, say that again.
That's real talk. Like, Meek Mill would never run up on Nas, and neither would Safaree. And the fight over a chick that left both of y'all? Like, why don't you just find somebody else?
Let me ask you this, because here's the thing, right? I can see if they was like two broke niggas, two niggas with no status, but here you got two dudes, man, like they could pull up on anybody almost, especially Meek Mill, in the world. Arguably, Meek Mill goes to London, somebody knows him. Meek Mill goes to Chicago, somebody knows him. I mean, he could deal with any type of chick he wants. And the thing is, they're already in the industry. They can deal with any type of bad bitch. Why? I mean, they have money. They have notoriety. Why is it they can't just be like, look, we got money, we got notoriety, I'm just going to move on?
I think because they both don't want to admit publicly they got played. Because the way it looked like from the outside, she played both of them for their writing skills. And they can't... You know, they can't move forward because when she left the dude for Meek Mill, I'm sure he was helping her write after that. She moving on to Nas. I bet you she started rapping different.
Oh, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So what's going to wind up happening is you can't say you got a beef with her, because if you're a guy who running around on that rah-rah thug stuff, how you going to come at a girl like you going to kill her? You got to go at the ex.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, to me, they some suckers on some sucker stuff, man.
Let me go back to Steve real quick, go to Jimmy, because Steve, listen, you know, these guys have money, though. I mean, they just have money, they have fame. Mm-hmm. Some would argue, I mean, fashion, maybe good looks to some women, or, you know, the guys are young. I mean, do you deal with clients like this? You know, clients who have it all made, you know, you have money, you have some sort of influence, but yet you still are emotional. Do you deal with people like this in your
Oh yeah,
work?
absolutely all the time. And one thing I always say: money, power, and fame doesn't make you a man. That's what you have. That's not what you are. So a lot of people kind of think they both are in line with each other. When you have money, power, and fame, and you try to dangle those things, that's what a woman's going to be attracted to. She's not going to be attracted to the man. What I'm trying to say is that as long as you are the man, you don't have to worry about your money, power, and fame. But again, it goes back to their mindset, O'Shea, that they're very emotional, they're very feminine, and they are not confident in what they can do. As much money as they have, it doesn't matter because it's always the behaviors, O'Shea. It's not what they say. You can always look at their behaviors, and you see through their behaviors that again, he can snap his fingers. I'm Meek Mill, and he has groupies. They both have groupies, and they can nail everyone they want. But you know what? Nikki has been running the show since day one. She is the man of the relationship. She is telling him what to do. She has his spine and his balls. She has both of them. Because I even saw Safaree on Love and Hip Hop. And that motherfucker was still, well, I with Mickey, and Nikki has my ball, they act like a bitch. Women don't respect bitches, man. Bottom line.
Let me do this. I'm gonna move it and try to change it up. Jimmy, you in LA. Take yourself off of mute because like I said, you had all that shh in the background, had all that shh. Thank you. Okay. Oh wait, you're still on mute. Look. Take yourself off mute, baby. Off of mute.
Did.
Oh, you did. Okay, listen, Jimmy. You live in LA, okay? LA is probably like one of the highest concentration of black men with money, right? I mean, you think of big money cities, you think about Atlanta, DC, Chicago, Houston, but LA got to be right up there, if not number one, number two. How many dudes have you rejected that approach you that have a lot of money and they can't deal with it, or a lot of fame and can't deal with it? They drive up, they see you walking down the street, you got them old Navy flip-flops on, you know what I'm saying, trying to look cute with the flower in it, you know what I mean? And you're like, no, I'm cool. Well, fuck you then, bitch. I mean, like, do you deal with dudes like that get emotional and think that because they have money, they have education, that you're supposed to give them a chance? I mean, do you deal with these kind of men, and kind of give us some explanations about that?
Well, I only have like one memorable incident, really, but I actually gave this guy my number.
Ooh.
And he was an ex football player. But what turned me off was the fact that he really didn't have a personality, and all he kept saying was, "I would look good in his Bentley." And I was like, once he said that, I was like, I'm straight, because like you don't. Be who you are. Like, you don't have to flaunt your material things. Okay, I know you're an ex-football player, I know you're retired, I know that. So like, it just turned me off, and we never went on a date or nothing, but I kept it peaceable. Like, I don't really do drama. So
even, but I mean, you probably would have looked good in this Bentley. Good looking woman.
Yeah, but the fact that he was just on his materialistic shit, and I didn't like that. Like, it's cool, like, yeah, have what you have, but I wanted to get to know who he was. Mm-hmm. Not really so much. It was like, so it wasn't him like showing his personality. He was more so thinking like, I'm just like some average ass chick that the normal pretty girl that's just like about what she can get out of him. Like, that's what he was thinking. So he was like, let me come at this angle with her, but I'm not like that. So you have to be you. Like, be yourself. Don't do that. Like, it just showed me that he had insecurity. And for him, his thing was, let me flaunt what I got in order to get her. And he didn't have to do that.
Good point. So, let me go to LAR. LAR, you've been in a lot of big money black cities. Now, I know, Steve, you have a clientele that's many different men. Probably got more black men after you be coming on this show. But LAR movement, I know that you've been in the New Orleans area, you've been in Chicago, you're Houston, and you're a college graduate. You have a very good job. You're no stranger to black people having a lot of money, and black men having money due to just the people you hang around. Do you think that a lot of successful black men have this problem, that have money, that they can't talk to women still, or they still are emotional and think that their money and success will replace them from, like Steve said, being a man. Because a lot of, I mean, the reason why I'm asking is because a lot of black men are chasing money, they're chasing status, they're chasing all these things, and then still they end up getting not where they want to be. I just want to know your take on that.
I got you. I think they living in the past. I think what winds up happening is when you're young and you're poor, people tell you broke, you ain't got nothing. So then you work to get it, and now you're trying to show off what you got, but like Jimmy said, you don't have no personality. So now you wind up jealous of the guys who got women when you were broke, and you wind up getting your feelings hurt because when you got it, nobody still wants to talk to you. So you get emotional and bitter instead of just taking some time to self-reflect and actually learn yourself and know who you are personally. You know, a lot of people, money don't make you comfortable in your own skin. So until you get there, you never get ahead.
Let's run that, Steve. Being comfortable in your own skin. I know the man mindset is about that. I just want to try to stump you, right? Let's run a scenario real quick. You know, I couldn't stump you the last week, but today I think I got something. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So, Steve, my name is Theron Williams. I make $1 million a year as a truck driver. Also, I am a world-class vlogger. Shout out to my channel, right?
Yes.
But you know, what the fuck is this? So the issue is now that I've achieved all of this, I have all of these things, millions of dollars. I got all kind of gold teeth.
Gold teeth.
Why would I have? And I'm just saying this is hypothetical, not the real Theron, right? But I'm just saying hypothetical using him. Why does what I do not make me a man? Because I drive trucks, I work every day, I take care of all of my responsibilities. But my problems with women, why does not make me a man in your opinion? I mean, what is it that I'm not working on? What is it that I should be trying to work on?
Well, the thing I would say to you is that unfortunately your mind tells you that you can show a woman your money and you can get her, or you can show her the car you drive, or how expensive the clothes that you have, or how big your house is, and you think those are the things that's going to get her to be attracted to you. The truth is when she's feeling attraction to you, it doesn't matter what you have. You can be in a paper box wearing a potato suit. Like the young lady was saying before, that she made a perfect example. You have an ex-football player who has the wealth, but you can tell he's still a cupcake because he's still trying to dangle little things in front of this young lady's face to think that, wow, because I have something, she's going to like me. That's not what it's all about. And that's what I would tell you, the blogger who has all that money. I would say, fuck your money. Fuck all the shit you have. What does that have to do with you being a fucking man? Because you ain't a man if you think that's what makes you a man.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Oh, shit. Yeah. You going out tonight? No. All right. Okay. My woman just walked in. Okay, so let me do this, Steve. You said the money doesn't matter, and I lost my train of thought for the follow-up question. But
yeah.
Well, then let me ask you this. Then, what would make you a man? Because I know we talk about this all the time. Let's talk about that mind mindset you talk about. Because a lot of brothers are still maybe confused. They think that it is. Let's talk about the manmindset.com, the mindset that we should have, starting from where?
Starting from self. It's always about yourself, because to help you along on the thing you probably were thinking about the money is not a substitute for your personality. Money isn't a substitute on how you carry yourself. Money is a substitute for you being funny. And money isn't a substitute for knowing exactly what you want from a woman. Those are just outer things. So what I would tell him, he needs to learn how to have a standard of laws, rules, and codes. He needs to know what he wants and what he wants from a woman and be able to relay that to her without showing off or trying to get some sidebar ass by buying her dinners and drinks and driving her in these fancy cars and all that other stuff. Because if you're going to do that, she's going to be attracted to that, but she's not going to be attracted to you. And that's what it's a mindset. It's the way you think. It's not what you do. It's how you think, man.
Let me ask you this, because a shout out to Jerry Super Chat, and we'll go right to LAR and back to Jimmy. He says, can you, now I know you used to be a retired gigolo, you said on the show.
A whore, yes.
Yeah. He says, can you date a woman with more money than you? Why or why not?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. Again, listen, I don't care how much money she says, as long as she knows that she needs to respect me and respect and understand that I'm the head of this house. I'm the king. You know what I mean? It's not that it's not like a dictatorship, but just because you have more money than me doesn't mean you can start telling me what I can and cannot do. And that's something that, I mean, even like the young lady was saying earlier, I'm drama free. When I first meet a woman, that's probably the third line or the third thing we talk about, because again, I don't do drama. If you think you want to disrespect me, yell, scream, and all that other shit, get the fuck, you gone. I might fuck you, but you still gone though. You're not worth it. We won't even get on my roster with your mouth like that, man.
Let me talk to LAR movement, because I'm gonna piggyback on this, because LAR Steve says it doesn't change your personality or your humor. All right, let's assume now I'm not a guy like Steve. Let's say it hypothetically. I'm somebody else, right? My name is Jared. I don't have the personality that LAR movement has. All right, that's fine. I can't articulate like LAR movement. I can't say what Steve can say. How can a man, in your opinion, work on his personality, work on his, maybe a lot of guys are not funny. A lot of guys are stoic. They don't have a good sense of humor. They don't know the next thing to say to somebody. Like some men struggle with that. I mean, I know niggas, we pretty good at that kind of shit, for the most part. That's why we're on YouTube, but we're fucking YouTubers. We don't have a problem talking to people. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes do. They do. So what do you suggest, LER? Because a lot of dudes have a problem with increasing their personality. They have a problem with this. I mean, what do you tell a guy like this, in your opinion?
Like I said, you got to be comfortable in your skin, which means stay in your lane. If you a stoic dude, stay a stoic dude. Don't try to be a comedian. You a fish out of water. If you're a funny dude, stay being a funny dude. Now you can work on the things you weak in, but don't try to completely flip flop. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like if you had if you was in a fight with a guy and one guy was a pure boxer and the other guy was a straight brawler. Guess what? They know what they're doing. They know what they show up as. They know what they practice as. They know what they're efficient at. Now, the minute the brawler decides he wants to be a boxer, he gonna get beat. And the minute the boxer decides he wants to be a brawler, he gonna get beat. So once you know you, then you build on that. If I had millions of dollars, I still like muscle cars. I'm not buying a Rolls Royce Phantom. I like muscle cars. Money ain't gonna change that. You a millionaire, you wanna eat at steakhouses. I don't like steakhouses. I like Chinese food. I know who I am. Mm-hmm. Just stay in your lane and stick to who you are.
Let me kind of remember, because what you just, I know you're a boxing podcast host, right? What you reminded me of was Sugar Ray Leonard versus Roberto Duran, the first fight. And if you guys remember that first fight, Sugar Ray Leonard tried to go blow for blow with Roberto Duran. And he lost. It was a close fight, but he lost because he got out of his element. Now, the second fight was much different. I think Roberto Duran even quit because, as a slick boxer, Sugar Ray, it was very hard for somebody like Roberto Duran to keep up. I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard, I believe, was a little taller than him. He had a really fast jab, and he was much quicker, more agile than he was. So what you're saying is right. Let me get this though. I'm gonna go back to Steve here in a minute, but we're gonna go to Jimmy. Jimmy, take your mute off.
You love putting me on mute.
Yeah, I mean, because you got all that shit in the background. You got every time you like it's shh, shh. When we get on Blog Talk Radio, man, you got to get all the check out your house, man. For real, we can't be rocking like that. All right, Jimmy, let me ask you this. Now, I know women like to be entertained, right? Do you doubt? I know you probably have dealt with. See, you got hella dogs in the background and shit. I mean, what's going on? Who died back there? Is that Lassie? Is that a pit bull?
Shut up.
Okay.
The door is open. That's why.
Yeah, but you got Lassie out there and eating people and shit, man. What kind of shit is? Okay, anyway, let's just go. All right. So, does it matter to you if a guy is stoic? Does he have to be funny to you? Does he have to be like? Just a lot of women like to be entertained. What kind of personality does a guy have to be? Well, what I'm saying is, do you have a certain personality type that draws you, or can you deal with a guy who's comfortable in his own personality?
I believe that confidence is key for anyone. That goes for females and males. You have to be confident in who you are and what you bring to the table as a person. And if you are insecure, people can sense that, and it's not attractive. So you have to be confident in what it is that you bring to the table. So that's what I'd say. But what woman doesn't like to be treated? I was going to say something too. Huh?
Hi, that's stupid. Let me ask you this, because you say that you can tell. Shout out to Charlie, shout out to London. You said you can tell when somebody is not confident. That's easy. But how can you tell when somebody is confident as a woman? Huh?
People in general can tell. I say people in general can tell when somebody's energy is off. Like you can tell when somebody is insecure in something that they're doing.
Okay, but
not
how
to say
can you
like
tell
you know what I mean? Like people in general, we like people who are confident.
But how can you tell they're
like
confident?
If you're funny,
besides me,
the energy that they bring, you can tell. You can just tell. You can tell.
LAR.
Tell off of the energy that they bring. Whether they're confident or not, you can tell. So that's something to do with attraction as well.
What kind of energy? Like, what kind of energy do you feel? I mean, besides seeing me on here like this, I mean, obviously, I mean, well, whenever you're in my presence, I mean, what can you fucking say? Woo! But I'm just meaning like in general. How can you tell somebody's energy? What kind of feeling do you get? Can you explain it? What does it feel like?
No, what I mean is like when somebody is giving off some, like say if if a person comes in the room and they're nervous, you're gonna be like, why in the hell are you nervous? Like you can tell if somebody fidgeting or stumbling over their words. Like I'm just talking about communication on a different level. Like you can tell when somebody's faking it. Like you can kind of tell when somebody's not being authentically them because you can sense the insecurity that comes off of them. That's what I'm saying. And for the normal, when you're talking about romance, when you're talking about something romantic, if a person is insecure, it's not attractive when you don't know them, okay? It's different if you already established a relationship with someone. You can then, if you've already established a relationship, most likely you can help them through whatever it is that they're dealing with. But if you do not know them off the jump, you're going to think that this is just how they are. And most people do not want to invest in people that are insecure just off of the rip, because it's going to show that there is going to be more problems and more problems and more problems in the relationship. So that's why I gave that as an example as the guy who was a retired football player. I'm not saying anything is wrong with him. That's fine. That's how he is. Maybe some other girl would be cool with him flaunting his riches or whatever he got, as opposed to him showing off his personality and who he was. I'm saying I like to get to know people. I'm not a surface type person. I like to get to know who you are, what drives you, what are your interests, what is it that makes you excited about getting up daily, what is your passion, because those are important. If you're looking for if you want to be in a serious relationship with anyone, I don't believe in like wasting time. So if I want to know what drives the person because that's important.
Okay, let me do this. I'm gonna go back to Steve. You made some good points, Steve. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you several questions. Steve, you deal with men. Some of these guys have told me that they talk to you, things work for them. But let's talk about the different types of personalities again, because you're a slick talker guy. LAR movement is we wouldn't be on YouTube if we didn't have outgoing personalities. Nobody comes on YouTube and does radio shows and shit if they don't like people, right?
Yes.
Comparing, somebody like you or Ellen Roger Curry, most men don't have that kind of personality.
Yes.
Okay, so you're exceptional, right?
No.
You're super outgoing.
I'm like you. I'm like everybody. Ellie is right about something though. She's right. Now let me explain how you can tell. She was talking about the energy. Let me explain something to you. How many times have you walked down the street and you saw somebody, you didn't know anything about them, but you was like, look at that loser over there. You didn't know shit about him, but come on, we've all done this. How many times you saw somebody and looked at them just based off of what they were doing, like, man, look, that's a fucking loser over there. We've all done that. We've all done that. Well, it's the same thing with women when they see guys with confidence. Now, y'all gonna have to maybe pull out my belt now, because now I'm gonna talk about the champ. All right, this is my champion belt because this is I always tell my guys, you should always have this arrogance to you, this charismatic way about yourself that, you know what, this is your lucky day that you're meeting me. See, these guys have this thought process that it's all about the woman. They got to cater to the woman. They got to bend over backwards to the woman. LA was right about, she want a man and she wants to know all these things about a man. But as a man, just because you bring ass and titties to the table doesn't mean I want to be with you. What the fuck what's so special about you? Because I meet a million of you every day. What's so special about you where you can get my attention? That's the confidence and arrogance I'm trying to give guys. Because when I meet a woman, I'm not looking at her. I'm looking through her. I already know that today's her lucky day. I know that when she leaves me, she gets to tell her great grandkids one day, 40, 50 years from now, she met a fucking man. You can't tell me no different. That's how I think. And if you can't think that way, you're going to lose. Because like she said, women don't want weak, bitchy guys who are not sure what they're doing. Because the way you are outside the bedroom is the same way most of them will perceive you in the bedroom. And if you're like, roses are red, violets are blue, and you coming up with pickup lines and gimmicks and all the other silly ass shit, you're just that 2-minute man. You're that motherfucker who can't beat that pussy up. You're that motherfucker who can't make, again, you can't take the dick off the table type attitude. This is what I'm telling you, O'Shea. You gotta be a man. And you saying it's hard to do? Absolutely not. Because I can take anybody and show them who is teachable that they have everything I have inside of me. We're no different. I feel like I'm on another planet dealing with these humans and cookie cutters and shit. But every motherfucking guy has what I have in them. It's just they don't believe in themselves. They don't.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about this LAR movement. He made a good point. I keep forgetting how genius he is, but we haven't had a chance to really rock like we're supposed to. We're gonna get back to doing these podcasts like at least twice a month. LAR says something that's very important. If you are one type of way, don't try to be something that you're not. For example, like you watch boxing. Like for example, Joe Frazier was a kind of fighter that came forward. Floyd Patterson was he came forward. He wasn't he never tried to jab around like Ali or quick tail or something like that. Mike Tyson that was his style. He won or lost with that style. Now a lot of dudes who, let's say they have a style and it's kind of them, but when they come to somebody like maybe you, or let's say they go to one of these pickup artist places.
Yes.
They're trying to change their whole style, right?
Right. Yes.
But the real truth is really that their style is not really it's probably little things they got to work on, right? Like, let me give you an example. Emmanuel, what was this guy's name? Emmanuel Stewart. He was a boxing trainer. He worked with many heavyweights. He died. He used to train Tommy. What was the guy in Detroit, man? Tommy Hearns. Yeah. He said when he worked with a boxer, like Evander Holyfield or Lennox Lewis, he never tried to take away so much from them. He kept the things that they did well and try to change the things they did bad, and they got better. Now, how do you gauge, where a guy is at, Steve? And I know that's a long question because I know you go to the gym, you have a trainer, and he sees how much you can lift, and he kind of starts you there. When you're dealing with a guy, how do you know what he is doing right, and how do you know what he's doing wrong, and how do you work with each individual person to see, you're a stoic person, you're a funny guy, but like, what do you do to see where each person's at, I guess?
Well, I ask them a series of questions. I find out how they approach women, ask them what they think about themselves and things like that. Usually you can tell a lot of guys that live in the past, they stay in their comfort zone, they fear, they run away. I mean, these are just the norms. But one thing I learned a long time ago when I was 9 years old, my sister used to be popular, and my sister and my mentor told me the same thing. The reason that my sister was popular and the reason why I'm so easily can change up or adapt to my environment is because I do the thing that I instill in everybody else to do. Learn people. Go in places that, things that you don't want to do those things. Because what I learned when I was young was that I had to hang out with the surfers, the punk rockers, the glee club, the music club, the chess club. I hung out with all those people. You know why? Because in every group, there was like 3 or 4 badass motherfucking women. They were fine as fuck. But see, people don't understand that. They're so busy staying in their lane when it comes to this. I want to expand. Like, for instance, let me give you, for instance, like I always say, I always tell guys, like when Harry Potter came out, right? I would always tell guys, you need to go see Harry Potter. Now, I'm sure everybody in the fucking chat room right now saying, I want to go see that stupid ass bullshit and all this other shit. They think I'm crazy. But this shows why you are where you're at and why I'm where I'm at. Because I always take things back to nature, O'Shea. The lion does not hunt the animals. The lion waits by the water hole because he knows the animals have to drink. So technically, the animals come to the lion. Harry Potter, think about Harry Potter for a second in this analogy. If you have a 10-year-old girl back in 2007 reading those stupid ass Harry Potter books, reading them fucking books, got the videos, got the cups, got the t-shirts and all that other shit, where the fuck do you think that tight body, and we fast forward 10 years, where do you think that tight body, round ass, firm breasted woman is going to be at opening night of Harry Potter? You think she's going to be at home? Fuck no. She's going to be at the goddamn movie theater in line waiting to watch this movie. I'm not telling you to watch Harry Potter. I'm saying learn the woman, go to the woman, talk, learn people. That's the thing that people don't do, O'Shea. They're so busy staying where they're at, they're not willing to adjust and adapt to their environment. I'm never saying lose who you are as a man. If you're not funny, O'Shea, don't be funny, but learn people where you can adapt, then bring them over into your world. That shit is easy, dog. Hey, come on, you gotta give me a harder question than this, O'Shea. Stop that shit.
Hold on, it's my girl, man. She just wanted to say hi. Yeah. Go ahead, and give me a kiss, baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay, baby. I'm gonna be in there in a minute, rubbing them elbows. All right, don't worry about nothing. Rubbing them elbows tonight, don't you? Stop the show. Stop the show.
On mute, O'Shea. I was trying to tell her hi.
Oh, hey, it's Jimmy. Hold on a second. Jimmy, she added to Jamisha. Hey, did you see Jamisha?
Oh, you put my stuff down.
Oh, okay. Say hi, Jamisha. The 2 California girls.
Until she gets talking to you. Hi.
Oh, hold on.
You guys are so cute together.
Okay, you tired? Okay. Okay. Bye, baby.
Hey, I miss O'Shea.
Okay.
Have fun.
So let me come in. Okay, thank you. Sorry, y'all know that. Oh, Bumble. Let me do this. Stop the show, y'all. what we was now. Let me ask you this. A brother had a question, right? Shout out to my man Josiah. He always in here, supporting the show, man. He's a brother. He said, "Goddamn, man, come on, man, y'all niggas thought I'm the truth, nigga. That's so. I'm the truth, nigga. I'm like ghetto Jesus. I'm the truth and the light, nigga. Jimmy, tell him about me. Jimmy knows me. Jimmy knows me from back in the day. Jimmy,
you better freaking stop. Stop it, O'Shea.
Jimmy, you already know I always been working with something. You know, I might be ugly, but my girls ain't never been ugly.
Oh man.
Let me do this, man. This my brother, man, Josiah. What was his comment, man? Josiah, he says, if Josiah's still here, man, okay. He says, hey, I love the show, but what does that say for those nerdy guys who are successful in their field, but the women still flock to them? So, let me let LAR movement rock that, because Steve. Yeah. Let me come back to Steve here.
No doubt.
LAR movement. I guess he's trying to say that. I mean, you do have some nerdy guys, and women still flock to them. Is there a specific reason why you think that is?
To me, it's very simple. Mm-hmm. X out the money and success part. Two very good things. If you're young and you become a winner in anything, you got the confidence of a winner. Don't matter if you're a nerdy winner. Don't matter if you're an ugly winner. Don't matter if you're a fat winner. You're a winner. Women like confidence. So a lot of guys, to get that, you got to go outside of your comfort zone sometimes to take the steps to be a winner. A lot of guys have not been winners in their life, not as kids, not as teenagers, not as adults. So with that nerdy guy that have a lot of women, what he got on you is, you put him in a situation next to you, he gonna beat you, because in his heart, he's a winner and you the loser. Mm-hmm. So to me, that's what it is.
Let me say this also. I mean, like, I was a biology. I'm very niggified, but I'm also I guess a nerd too. I mean, because I was a biology major. I dealt with a lot of fucking nerds. I'll tell you how nerds operate, man. Nerds are smart enough to understand that a lot of people don't like them. Let's just be honest. Nerds know that they fucking suck. I'm just be honest. Like, nerds understand that most people don't think that they are cool. So what nerds do is, nerds, like LAR movement said, most nerds are smart enough to operate in their own lane. Nerds ain't trying to go to the hip hop club all the damn time. If they do, they ain't going to the black one. They gonna go to the nerd club and dance to hip hop amongst themselves. Nerds operate within a certain group. You know what I mean? I'm kind of flexible and shit, man. I can move with gangsters, and y'all seen the show last night. We was talking about the flat Earth debate, and Steve, you gotta check that shit out. We was talking to the conscious community and some brothers who are flat Earth debaters. And it was some real niggified niggas in here, and it was crazy. Wow. But I also can get on there and talk about pathology with the medical, but I'm a little bit different because I'm a tweener. I can go in between both worlds. But most nerd dudes stay in their lane, and if you stay in your lane, you're gonna have a lot much more success in a particular lane. That's why a lot of black dudes who are nerds, they end up like I say, like Philco, are certain dudes. They end up like with certain, like, maybe non-black women or certain types of black women, and that's all they'll date. They don't never go too far from that. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about brothers, like they only operate in a certain niche. You know what I mean? I think that's what dudes got to start understanding too. I'm not a dating coach. I'm not Steve the Dean, but I know for me, it's only a certain niche I'm operating in, and after that, fuck that. I got my standards, and it's here. I don't go anywhere underneath that. I wouldn't even let you suck my dick if you underneath that. Oops. Sorry, baby. But you know what I mean. Here, nigga. Here. Let me go back. So that's a question. Let me do this real quick, man, while we're doing this. Everybody knows we got Steve the Dean. Let's get the likes up, brothers. Because there's 122 of you niggas watching right now.
Can I say something about the winner?
Yeah, man.
LAR was absolutely right what he said, but there's one thing I'd like to say on top of what he's saying. I believe everybody is born a winner. And I know that's very cliche, but I always say that on my shows. Because when your mom got with your dad, everybody, and he got that ass and he jizzed up in your mom, you I mean, yeah, lady, you beat out millions of your brothers and sisters to get to the egg. So by that alone, you are a winner. But what happened is once you were born, you begin to believe the stories of the outside world of you're not good enough, or they want to knock you down or give you pills and things like that. So yeah, everybody is born a winner, but it's after that point they become losers and stuff.
Okay, let me do this. Great point, because I know shit. My daddy was busting all type of nuts.
Hey, you made it. You won.
Yeah, probably a lot of weed in that, cocaine in that, sperm, Hennessy. Yeah, my dad was fucking up. That nigga, it wasn't a drug he didn't like. That nigga,
man, I can't.
That motherfucker all in the church bathroom smoking and shit. He didn't give a fuck.
Oh, this
yeah, my dad is crazy, man. He's a shout out to he's a very smart dude, man. But like back in the 80s, nigga, when he had that perm, it was all bad.
It's all Jerry curl, G.
Oh, nigga, that nigga had a perm, nigga. That nigga was ahead the deacon board and he was snorting in the bathroom. That nigga was doing all kind of shit, man. It wasn't that church or nothing, but that nigga used to be strung out. That nigga wouldn't come home for like 10 days in a row.
Papa was a Rolling Stone, shit.
But man, that's my, he got cool though. He got cool. So that's a whole nother story. I mean, man, I'm sorry, man. I shouldn't be laughing at this shit. All right, let me just get the likes up, fam. Y'all know we got some people in here. Get the likes up. 121 watching. We got a good show. Let's get the brothers to like the video. We have a really good panel on tonight. Jimmy, who still has not. What about if I was born retarded in blind? Voltron. I guess you fucked up.
Oh sure.
Yes, Jimmy. Yes, Jimmy.
Before you go off topic, I wanted to go back to the original topic when you were talking about, because remember I started talking about male and female energy. When I was talking about that and about how both Meek Mills and Safaree are in feminine energy. Well, not only that, what tells you about them being in that feminine energy, I'm not saying feminine energy is negative, okay? But them being in like emotional means that they would go back to Nikki if she gave them a chance. They would definitely go back to her. The fact that they are that emotional behind her. That's the key. That's what that shows, that they would go back with her, that they would still deal with her.
So if a woman knows
to be with them.
So then that makes a woman now.
There's nothing wrong with them feeling like that. It's just something wrong with them. It's something wrong with them expressing themselves in that way, like being messy, like that. That's what's wrong with it. It's the way that they're expressing the feminine energy. Like there's nothing wrong with a man whining and dining a woman. There's nothing wrong with a man lying to a woman or giving her poems or being
poems,
being nice, or
but you said poems.
Writing her poems if that's what he wants to do. Yes, if he's expressing about her. There's nothing wrong with that. But hold on, before you judge, you have to listen. It's about not being the pushover. There's a difference. It is nothing wrong with a man being masculine too. You have to have a balance. You can't be just masculine all the time towards a woman. That's not going to work. You will not get far, especially if you have an attitude of thinking that you are the prize and you don't have to do anything to win her over. You will not maintain a woman because your ego is too big to have her. You have to be able to have a balance. You have to be able to be strong and be a man and put your foot down when it's necessary to guide her in the right direction. When you need to do that, you need to know when to be kind. You need to know all those things. It's a balance. It's about standing up for yourself. Nobody wants to be with anybody who's a pushover. Period. That's male or female.
Okay, let me do this. Because I think the show is getting ready to get really good, more so than it was. This is getting ready to get real. This is why, like, see, Jimmy, this is why I bring you on, because you know how to get some shit started. This is the reason why when Jimmy come in the show that she come on, that the motherfucker don't at some point. The gasoline draws come on. All right, let me let LAR respond on what she just said. LAR, is that bullshit?
Steve, I'm gonna keep it short because I know you're ready.
Let me over there warming up it.
First and foremost. First and foremost, a woman wants a man. A man is going to be the leader. You can't lead from behind with her, with what she wants and what she feels and how she does. And what I'm going to say to you, Jimmy, is when a woman speaks like that about men, you got to understand, we also know what works and what doesn't work. What you saying sounds good, that don't work. What you say that a guy shouldn't be, that works. And you know, it's all right to be nice, it's all right to have balance, but you got to be effective. You know, you don't never.
I'm saying you can't just be like, oh, I'm not doing this for her. Oh, I'm not like, no, you can't be like that all the time. Because we're still gentle. We still need a man to be compassionate towards us too. You can't just be like treating her like she just one of the dudes and you don't need her. Like all that other stuff. You can't do that. Because she's not going to want to be with you no more. Period. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't just be like, I don't need you. I'll move on to the next. You can't just be like that.
Nobody's talking about not needing somebody.
That's not like that.
Okay, if you picked a man like that and your tire went flat and he got in his feelings, I bet you'll be driving home with the AAA driver.
Let me just do it real quick. Shout out to Caribbean.
See, that's why you laughing.
Shout out to Caribbean.
Get it, Steve.
Hold on, wait a second. Shout out to Caribbean Freddy. All right, let me do this. Shout out to the Grand Master, Master Minister Jep. Man, he been really cooking it up, man. I don't know if I can send him the link because you know Minister Jep gonna go crazy. But let's let so Jimmy, let Steve rebuttal. Okay, so I'm gonna put you on mute because I know you want to interject. So I'm gonna mute your ass. No, I got you.
Yeah.
You don't know how to just you're gonna be interrupting.
Yeah.
You know? So Steve, what's wrong with what she's talking about? What she just said?
Everything is wrong with what she said. This is why I tell y'all stop listening to women when it comes to learning man advice. If you don't believe me, guys, do a homework assignment. If you have a single mom, go to your mom and ask her about dad. And you know what she's going to tell you? He was a jerk. He was an asshole. He never listened. He never paid attention. Then ask your mom this question. Well, if he was such a jerk and he was an asshole, he never paid attention to you, why'd you fuck him, mom? Why did you give him the pussy? Because these women are always want to tell you guys what they want. Ask a woman, go to any woman, ask her, well, I'm going on a date. What should I do? Well, a woman wants you to take her out to a nice restaurant. A woman wants you to take your coat off and put it over a puddle. And a woman wants you to appreciate, man, fuck that silly bullshit. It's not about what that motherfucker wants. It's what she needs. And the bottom line is this, and this is really going to piss your girl off. You women have no value until we as men put value in you. Let me tell you why. I'm not saying you women shouldn't value yourselves, but as long as you submit, serve, give sex, and shut your ass up, you'll be okay. But outside of that, you have no value. And let me explain why. Because this is going to really shock, because I know she's ready to rebuttal this. But this is the problem with you women. This is at the chat room, listen to the problem with these women. See, if McDonald's and Burger King, I'm using the Whopper Big Mac to explain this easy ass shit.
Let him talk, Jimmy. Let him talk.
Wait, stop.
Mute. Let him finish. Let him finish.
I'll be real quick.
Okay.
McDonald's thinks their Big Mac has value. Burger King thinks their Whopper has value. It is the customer that places the value in the burger. If I'm in the middle of the street and I see Burger King and McDonald's, I choose what I want because I place the value. You women don't have any value until a man places it in you. Meaning, remember, I'm not going after your last name. You're going after my last name. So you need to come correct. You need to show me why you should be on this dick. I don't have to do shit for you because I can close my eyes and throw a rock in the ocean and hit a woman just like you before it hits the water because there's nothing special about you women. They have lied to you. And you, real quick, O'Shea, the reason they feel this way, because these bitch ass guys, these Meek Mills of the world have pushed these women up to make them feel so special that they think they can tell a man how to be a fucking man. I dropped the mic. I'm done.
Okay, so let Jimmy rebuttal that. I'm gonna let LAR. This is good. Y'all like the video, man. This is a good, like I said, I've been opening up the debates as of lately. Before you start, Jimmy, last night we had a heated debate on here about flat earth. Now we got a panel debating again tonight. This shit is fire. I'm gonna start letting motherfuckers come on here and just debate. Let Jimmy. what you gotta say? What to that? And shout out, hold on a second before you do that. My man super chatted. Raphael, he asks, okay, Jimmy, then if women don't like a man who treat them disposable, why do they look for men they can't do the same to? Do unto others, or that don't apply to women like most cases. Okay, so rebuttal.
Did you hear what he just used as? Did you hear what he used as an example? He said a single mother, not a working relationship, not a relationship of honor, not a marriage, but a single mother. As of why she let dad have sex with her. She made a poor decision, didn't she? Okay, great. People make poor decisions all the time with people that act like jerks. Okay, that happens. Men that don't want to handle responsibilities, that happens. And there are great men that handle responsibilities, that honor their wives, honor their women. I mean, I've seen an awesome example, which is in my grandfather. He honored my grandmother, both of them actually, in fact. So I came from a great establishment of not just men being respectful and being, giving and loving to their women, but I've also seen honorable women. Like my mom is honorable. My grandmother is honorable. So like, I know what it is. Nobody can tell me different. And I don't think that women are going after men's last names. So let's put that in perspective, because if a man can treat a woman as disposable, then that means he does not value her. And like you said, okay, yeah, a man places value in a woman. And if he doesn't value her, then why would she waste her time with a man who looks at her as the disposable person? See, this is the thing about life. Are unique because we do not have the same thumbprint. There's things about us that are unique. We could have the same names. We could be from the same family, but none of us are alike. And a lot of people love to have this idea that people are replaceable. No, everybody is not replaceable. Sorry, that's reality. Everybody is not replaceable because the purpose that God has for people to be in your life and whatever they're supposed to impart to you, they're supposed to be that. And that's what they were purposed to be. Just like I'm purpose, I don't care if my purpose was to sell perfume. I'm just saying, I'm going to be the best perfume seller ever. That's my job. Whatever it is that you put here to do, nobody can do it like you. So I think people need to come out of the concept of thinking that people are just dispensable and replaceable. They're not. Just because you've been hurt or you've been devalued by others doesn't mean that you can be like, oh, everybody is replaceable or I devalue this person. Maybe they may not be value to you, but they're of value to someone else because they have a purpose in that person's life. Maybe this person may not have a purpose in your life, and that's cool. But that doesn't mean that you be disrespectful or discard them as human beings. And that's the problem. Why people don't have compassion for people or sympathy or love or treat people with kindness. There's a lot of problems that come with that type of ego.
Let me do this. Let me shout out to go ahead. You're about to finish your point, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm about to wrap it up.
Oh, go ahead.
You're talking about someone that you're trying to pursue or be with. A man is supposed to pursue a woman. It's not a woman's job to pursue a man. So it should be already in his mind when he's pursuing that woman, she has some value to him. So because he's coming at her with knowledge about her, because he sees that she is of value to him. Otherwise, then what is he aiming for? Then that means that's a man that doesn't know who he is, and he's aiming recklessly at many different women, and he's wasting his own time. And so that's all I got to say about what you had to say.
Okay, let me do this.
I just don't agree with that.
Shout out to Cash Brown. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm about to do, you guys. Listen, and Grandmaster Steve the Dean. All right, let me before I let Steve LAR movement rebuttal, because LAR is like, what the fuck. He said Steve Serious, who's the devil's advocate. He said Steve is wrong. Gucci puts values on their product and never has a sale. The customer perceives the value and pays the price. Women put value on their pussy. Men pay. Okay, we're gonna go back. Let me do this. People. So Serious, and before I go back to this, Serious is actually a real interesting character. I didn't know he was so much of an asshole. We had a show last night. Dude had everybody pissed off. If you guys listen to that press 1 if you remember Serious from the show last night from the Flat Earth. Man, he had everybody mad as fuck. He's a true fucking asshole, dude. Like, if you guys remember him from if you remember him from last night, press 1. That dude, man, he is fucking wild, man. So let me do this. First of all, what we're gonna do is this. Me and Steve the Dean, he's helped me a lot with the content. I'm helping him. I'm gonna join Blog Talk Radio under Steve's network. So on the Negro Manosphere, within the next 2 days, you'll see Steve. His banner will be on the top column, right? Because Steve has really been instrumental to this channel. So you guys who want to call in and talk to the guests when we do shows like this, me and Steve are working on that right now, okay? I'm going to be doing OBS, something like Minister Jap, and then we're going to be on Blog Talk Radio, and it'll be me doing shows with Steve on BTR, me and Sirius, stuff like that. So we're actually going to have the Google Hangouts, and you guys can call in and talk to us. I promise you, me and Steve are going to do a test run. Steve, you want to try to do a test run tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So we're going to try to do the Blog Talk test run tomorrow. Like I said, I'll be on Steve's network. So that way you guys can call in and we can talk to you. Okay. So just give us to tomorrow. We're going to actually try it and stream OBS at the same time. I don't know if it's just going to work.
Yeah, we can even talk afterwards. Yeah, we got to talk, work it, set everything up. But yeah,
okay, so we're going to do it after this show. Or we actually get everything. So I'll be on Steve's network. So, we'll be doing live Blog Talk Radio shows, putting in work. All right, so Steve, once again, let's rebuttal that, and if you want to, and I'll read Howard Serious is coming. Serious is crazy, dude. I think he has a good career in this shit. But what do you think about what he said?
What I'll do is I like Jimmy. Now, please understand. Please understand. This is a debate. This is not how I feel about you. Okay, this is just us debating. Okay, I don't want you taking anything I'm about to say the wrong way. But let's be real here. Now, you said your grandfather was a certain way, your mom was a certain way, and your grandmother a certain way. I agree with you 1,000,000%. Your grandfather, your mom, and your grandmother was a certain way. But you women don't hold the same standards of your mom, your grandma, your grandfather. You don't go in the house when the lights turn out. You don't wear long dresses covering up your body. You don't live like grandma and mom used to live. So you can't compare, number one, grandma, your grandfather, because they were probably great people. That's a whole different time. Y'all women do not hold up to those same standards, number one. Number two, let me tell you about why guys, like, nobody's going to go to the car lot and just get in a car without kicking the tires. You think that guys really want to get to know you, or do you think they want to fuck you first? Because they really want to get to know you after they fuck you, not during. And the problem is a lot of these guys have been lying to you women, acting like they want to get to know you. And again, I'm not the bad guy here. I'm just the motherfucking dean. I want you and any woman listening to me to take the test. If you think that guy who you call your guy friend or your buddy, and we've been the best of friends and we've been taking bubble baths with our clothes on and shit, offer him the pussy. You go offer him the pussy. Let's see how much of a friend he really is. Because most of these motherfuckers don't have game. So what they want to do is they want to backdoor you into thinking that you're special to fuck you. They just want your pussy. And you know what? I'd rather be straight with you and let you know that, you know what? Yes, I want to fuck you. But the fact that you say a woman, wait, we have to kiss her. We have to bend over backwards. I got to slay the Minotaur to get your attention. Wait. If everybody in the chat room, do me a favor, LA and O'Shea, can y'all just snap y'all fingers real quick? Just snap your fingers with me real quick. Just snap your fingers. Everybody in the room. Y'all hear that noise? You know what that noise is, guys? Every second. Oh, that's just a woman that's 17 just turned legal. Oh shit. There's a 19-year-old that just turned 20. Oh shit. There's a 21-year-old that just turned 22. So you mean to tell me that I need to pander for your ass when there's so much ass out to be had? Come on, man. Y'all got to stop this foolishness. This is why I tell you guys, you got to stop listening to women when it comes to men. Now, here's the 1, 2, 3 tap. Now, I understand what you're saying and I respect what you're saying, but you got to show me your receipts, because if everything you're saying is correct, then you should be married by her now, right? You should have a husband and you should be married and staying on the hill and all the other stuff. But like you and a lot of women that think they know men, they want to do that Steve Harvey wait 90-day bullshit. And then when they have their face in the pillow and their ass up in the air and the guy just gets done nothing and he leaves, they wonder, well, why doesn't he want me? It's because you don't know how to submit. You don't know how to serve. You don't know how to get a pussy right, because you make these guys buy dinners and drinks. Who are you for me to have to spend my money to give you money? Now, unless you're a prostitute, because we're bartering then, because, hey, what is prostitution? I'm giving you money for a service. So when I buy you dinner, that means I want to fuck you. If we fuck off of a dinner, then yes, y'all are prostitutes. So I don't want to hear about he's got to take me out and he's got to show me the world, because let's be honest here. That's why it's a man mindset, because assholes like me get pussy. Why? Because we tell you woman the truth. Y'all don't want to hear the truth. You want to hear this fairy tale story that you read in those magazines and see in those movies where you think he wants you for your personality. He wants that pussy first. Then y'all can be friends later. I dropped the mic.
Oh shit.
But
okay, let me do this.
That's low level thinking skills, because you're not, see, you're talking about sex. You're talking about the pursuit of getting a woman. You're not talking about establishing relationship. You're talking about, oh, there goes a woman that's just turned 18. Oh, there goes a woman that just turned 19. Okay, but that means that you're on the prowl just looking for sex. That's the mindset of what type of person you're talking about. I'm not talking about lower thinking or lower level. I'm talking about a mature man who's ready to settle down. He's not going to just be thinking like, let me go pursue an 18-year-old. Let me go pursue this. And to be real with you, like, okay, when I said stuff about my grandmother and my grandfather, previously had kids before they married. So anyway, they loved each other. That's the point of what real love is. When you really care about somebody, when you really know who someone is and you love them. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real love. It's not no fantasy land. You can be sarcastic all you want to. You can do that. But I'm talking about the real stuff. I'm talking about when a person is down and out and you holding them down. I'm talking about the real. Not that fly by night, oh, I just want to feel good type stuff. I want a quick fix. That stuff. Because that's what you're talking about. You're talking about that little playground stuff. And yeah, okay, that's fine. Initially, with attraction, yeah, a guy does think sex. Initially, yes. That's like when a guy doesn't know a woman, of course. Initially, yes. I know that. Duh. That's common sense. You didn't have to explain that to me. Like, that's common sense. But however, a man who is beyond that, who is mature, he's thinking beyond sex. He still wants sex. Yes, absolutely. But him being mature and being ready to settle down, yes, there's a point in people's life and men's life. I've had conversations with men as of why I can speak like this. It comes to a point where he's like, okay, yeah, I want something real. I want to settle down. I want a wife. He's not thinking like a little boy no more.
Okay, Jimmy, let me do this. Let me let LAR movement weigh in on this, and then shout out to Caribbean Freddy. He says, Jimmy, men pursue due to societal norm, but we are more valuable since we make more, are stronger, and if you think about it, we run the world. The female is the lesser gender, sad but true. I agree. But here's the thing. Let me get LAR man in the way in. Look at his face. Look at his face.
Here's the
I don't
thing.
think it's rather being lesser value or more
Hold on.
I don't think it's that.
I was raised.
Wait. Different.
Wait.
Dynamics of who we are, we're different. So the value that we
Jimmy,
hold,
let me.
You wouldn't even be here without a woman. So let's not even be funny. Let's not be funny because the seed is nothing without someone to hold that seed. No,
okay.
I'm just being real. We do different things. It doesn't mean that a woman is less than a man.
This is
or a man is of more value than a woman. It's just we're different. We're different in dynamics. And if you do believe that you are of more value or you are the bigger person, then that means you need to be the more humble person, to be the more understanding person, if that's the case.
Okay, here's the thing. First, I was raised by my grandparents, me personally. So I got an old school kind of mentality I was raised. I don't want you to confuse your old school ideals with this current reality that we face with today. That's two different things. That's like when Steve was talking about the single mother and you brought up the single mother. It's more people raised by single mothers than them old school families nowadays. So that's the majority of the people we talking about. And that's the type of mindset that they have, whether it be men or women. Now, on top of that, when it comes to value, the thing about it is, if you take a woman from 21 to 31, and you take a man from 21 to 31, he can recall all the things that he did to bring value into a woman's life that are non-sexual. When you do that with women, all they talk about is sex and presence. That's how women have lost their value. Because when you run it down, okay, in this last year, how many things did you do to enhance the man's life? Most women can't say nothing. 2 years go by, 5 years go by, 10 years go by. And at a certain point, you say, oh, men need to do this, men need to do that. And a man could give you the receipts from a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades. And that receipt gonna be this small when he get it back from what he getting out of that. That's why they saying men are more valuable than women, because y'all are not giving back like them old school women that you have the ideals from. See, those old school women, they actually gave back in the relationship. This newer mentality assumes that because I showed up and because I'm with you and because we slept together, that, oh, most women can't cook or they don't want to. They can't clean or they don't want to. They want a man to do all the outside work in the house and all the inside work in the house. And if he's rich or he got money, you can get a maid. If he makes enough money, you get a babysitter. Use the dishwasher. We're not saying as men that you don't have value. We're saying you gave up your value with your actions over the last 4 or 5 decades. And you can't even realize it because at this point, a lot of women are so spoiled and entitled, they think working is beneath them. And especially working for their man. They expect their man to work for them, but they don't expect to do any work for their man. So that's why there's always an 18, 19-year-old that shows up, because she's at ground zero, just like you're at ground zero, and you might be 10 years older than her. So, that's the point. You don't have to agree with it. I'm just saying that's what it is.
Oh, well, no, I mean, I can't relate to that. It's some things that I just can't relate to because
but just because you can't relate to it.
13-hour shifts.
No.
And
hold up, Jimmy.
I mean, I can't relate to that. I don't have a problem with being old school, cooking for my man or doing those old school things. And in return, I do expect My
But here's
men
the
to
problem.
be
Just
old
like,
school. Like,
hold up, just
I
like
don't
you
know
can't
the type.
relate
I'm
to
just
it.
saying, I don't know like the type of guys you are or how you guys date. I'm not gonna judge y'all. I'm just saying I know how I like to be treated, and I know the type of men that I dated,
Yeah,
the ones
but
that
we're
did
not
work
talking
out and
about you
didn't work
personally.
out, and that I'm
We're
currently
talking about
dating.
normal
So
guys,
I
normal
know how I get
experience.
treated. So I don't know
That's what I'm saying. Like
how
this,
you
what
guys
like
do
it ain't necessarily. It's not about you personally, but this is normal guys, normal experiences. This is their normal experience from 18 to death. This is their normal experience now. Just because if you say you're different, it's just like a guy going to a nightclub and telling a woman that he's different from all the guys in the nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
Most women are accustomed to that line. At this particular point, even if you are different, guess what? We're accustomed to that line because most women say that same thing and do the exact opposite.
No, I'm not saying that I'm different. I'm saying my experience is different. I can't relate to
Right,
anything
but
that's
but you're
being
not a man
said.
though. You
Like,
Mm-hmm.
can't.
no,
You're
Mm-hmm.
not a man.
it's not that. It's not even that I'm trying to be a man. It's in the respect of I'm looking at it from the dynamics of a man pursuing me as far as the ideology of what's being said. Like the ideology of, oh, don't do this,
Oh,
or like the type of
oh,
attitudes
okay. Hold up. I get you.
as
Hold up.
granted
But
to
here's the thing.
attraction. And I was finding those things to be unattractive and actually men who think like that undateable.
Right, but here's the thing. What
Just
I'm
saying.
saying. This is the
Because
thing that I've been
I
saying
wouldn't
to you
date a
though.
man who thought like
A
that.
man,
Ever.
okay, if a man pursues you, this is the problem. He pursues you. And after he gets you, you do nothing to keep him. So guess
Mm-hmm.
what? He pursues somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? When he gets her, she does nothing to keep him. And guess
Mm-hmm.
what? He
Mm-hmm.
pursues somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what we're saying is the normal male experience. Because just like you said, just because he pursued you doesn't mean you did something to keep him.
Mm-hmm.
You saying, yeah, I gave you my number, ain't keeping them. Or I said yes to the date, ain't keeping them.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's not supposed to be kept though. See, there's hold on. No, you're laughing, but this has to do with purpose. I'm not even talking about sex. I'm not talking there's like take sex off the table. I'm just saying. I know that might be hard, men. Okay, I get that. I mean that might be hard.
No. I,
It's not.
I might be saying that
I'm gonna
because I'm
go.
a woman.
I'm gonna
Oops,
go
my
deeper
bad.
than this
Take
for
sex
you.
off the table.
I'm gonna go deeper than this
But
for
I'm
you.
just being real. Everybody that comes across your life, some are seasonal, some are meant to be there for longer seasons than others, and some are forevers. There can only be really one forever.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
An
Here's the problem with
idea.
that mentality.
I'm just saying, and everybody that you date is not going to be your forever.
Okay, that could be true, but here's the problem with that mentality. You still supposed to practice on keeping people, even with the people that you don't keep.
Wonderful.
You
Wonderful.
can't just wake up one morning and get that special person and say, I know how to do all these things that I never did for all these other people that I never kept. Because now you want that guy to come along and wait on you to learn how to keep a man,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to wind up having him pursue another woman.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
But you
Beautiful.
know what? In all honesty, in all due respect to your ideas in your mind about keeping a man is not going to stay if he doesn't want to be kept either. So that is another thing. A woman could cook, clean, backflip, do all these special tricks. If a man does not want her, he's not going to stay. It doesn't matter. Just like
Okay.
you find these women who are with men that constantly cheat, and she stays, and he constantly cheats, and he constantly cheats, and she stays, and I mean a good woman, excellent woman as far as meeting his needs on the level of feeding him, sexting him, and all those little natural levels on the surface. And he still does what he wants to do because he wants to do it. You can't change somebody or make them do what you want them to do. Period.
No, you can't. But you know
Yeah.
what? I don't care if he's a nerd. I don't care if he's a cheater. I don't care if he's faithful. I don't care if he's broke. I don't care if he's rich. All those men got one thing in common. They're going to still fulfill their societal role of being a man to themselves and to the women they're around. They don't cop out. women are copping out. I don't need to be a woman to this guy. I don't need to be a woman to that guy. I don't need to be a woman to, and then this whole time, it ain't even got nothing to do with us sometimes. If you don't know how to be a woman in the first place, you shouldn't try to talk to men or let a man pursue you until you grow up enough to be a woman. Because you're wasting a man's time when you do that.
Yes.
And and as a man telling this to a woman, a man's time, a woman's time and a woman's life will never be worth more than a man's time and a man's life. And once you approach men with that ideology that you're more important than him, he gonna wash you. It's war at that point. Because you're gonna have to respect his life and time just like you want yours respected. I'm gonna shut up. Go on, Steve. No. Jimmy, y'all got it.
No. Well, no, I don't think I can hear you, O'Shea. I don't think I can hear you. O'Shea, say something. Oh no, you're quiet again, O'Shea. But
you low. I heard you just cuss.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're in the background. I can hear him. Yeah. I can hear everybody on the panel, but not you, O'Shea. I know you just said fuck. I can read your lips though.
I don't know, for some reason, but for some reason, when you say keep or whatever, to me that's like striving for something. Striving. But I don't think.
But you want men to strive to keep you. You want men to strive to pursue you.
No, hold on. No, wait. No, not in that way. Not in that respect. Hear me out, please. Please, just listen without judging. Okay, just listen without judging. I believe that things are harmony. Like you keep things in harmony. Things should be a sequence of harmony with someone. So like sometimes I believe that things get broken, like the harmony and flow with certain people get broken. So I don't think like once you begin to strive for something, then you start acting out of desperation when you start to strive.
Well, yeah, I want to.
Can I say that, something? Steve? You got that.
Yeah, let me. Okay, you women, do you understand? You think when a man first sees you for the first time, he's like, "Wow, she's got a great personality. Wow, she cooks. She's this." Men don't think that way. And you're talking about all your quote unquote mature friends. Wait, hold on. I gave you the floor. I gave you the floor. I didn't say nothing. I gave you the floor. Let me have the floor. When you talk about your mature friends, show me a mature lion that sees a zebra walk by him and he's eating grass and he's not gonna hunt her down. See, the problem with you women is you're hanging out with mature losers who are weak-ass men who are not being honest with you. Because if you do the test, go to your quote-unquote mature friend and offer him some ass and see what he says. Because they don't want to tell you the truth. And I love what my boy just was talking about. I love everything you say. You're 1,000. But here's your problem as a woman. You got to understand something. When you reach 30, you start to decline in your value. You only have between 18 and 30 because y'all wouldn't want to think 40 is the new 20 or 30 is the new whatever the fuck. No, it's closer to 60. Let's be honest here. Your eggs are starting to dry up. You're getting the crow's feet. No, you got the other women behind you nipping at your toes. You have to step up because someone has, I don't know if it was Oprah, I don't know if it was Steve Harvey, someone has told you this false lie that you are special and that you deserve a good man. Now, you said that you expect men to treat you well and treat you right. You expect this all from this men. Well, my question is, if that's what you expected, then why aren't you married right now? Why aren't you married? And you know what? You can ask me that question. Steve, are you married? Yes, I'm married. I've been married for 18 years with no arguments, fights, or problems. Why? Because everything I'm telling you, I have done. And that's why I'm saying I'm living that life. When I met my woman, yes, I wanted to sleep with her, and that's all I wanted to do until she showed me that she had some value to her. I'm just not going to give you my last name because you have some titties and ass, and that's your problem. You want these guys to fit into what you want them to be. You don't want to accept the fact that, you know what? There's nothing special about you women. And like you said, you know, a woman could cook, clean, and do all these things. You're right. Well, guess what? It goes back to what I'm saying. You have no value. It doesn't matter what you do. He sees you as a booty call. That is all your value. Look, you can only give me 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. You think I'm going to marry you or put you on my roster? No, I want a woman that's going to give me 35 points, 20 steals, 18 rebounds, and 14 assists. That's what I want on my roster. I don't want y'all women give yourselves such high value. You know why? Because it's your girlfriends that tell you, that lie to you, and it's these guys that want to sleep with you lie to you. They won't tell you the truth. They won't tell you there's nothing special about you. You are just like every other woman out there. You just another color or different religion. These guys, we have options now. It's a new day and age. We have options. There are guys that's going down to the Dominican Republic. They're going down to El Salvador, Brazil. They don't have to put up with your attitudes, your lip, and your disrespect. And that's what y'all can't handle. Y'all, and again, I'm trying to help you women. All you got to do is submit. Matter of fact, do this. This will shock you. If you go out tonight, buy a guy a drink. When you go out tonight, offer to buy a guy a meal. Take him to a man movie. Do things like that to separate yourself from everybody else. But you know what? You women won't do that because you're like, well, he should supposed to come after me. Well, what makes you so special? Why should he go after you?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now. We hear you now.
Oh, shit. Okay. Let me do this.
You and I are different in dynamics, period. We're just different. Like,
but I'm success. But I'm success, though.
Because in pursuit, you're successful.
Wait. If I've been married for 18 years, when you want what I want.
Okay, hold on, guys. Safaree actually is going to join this. She doesn't know what we're talking about. So this is going to make it a little bit even. My girl Jimmy's on here. We got Safaree. What up, Safaree?
I'm going to have to get my belt on now.
Oh, God. Can you hear me?
Are you agreeing?
Yeah.
Oh, trying to be your model.
What's up, O'Shea? How you doing?
What you, Safaree?
What's up?
We talking about some relationships. You know, we had like 3-on-1, so we want to make it even. You know, say hi to my friend Jenny. I've been knowing her for years in California.
Oh yeah, you were telling me you wanted us to be on together.
Yeah, say hi, Jenny.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Big ass wave. Hello, girl. How you? Oh. Yeah, y'all. But pretty much, Safaree, just so we jump in and welcome. I think actually I got Nibby Speaks. I emailed her. I did a show with her before, so we tried to get Nibby to see if she want to come on. I sent her a link, see what the show's about. So pretty much, we're talking about, you know, as a woman, do you feel like a man should? Because you made a video about, you know, black men protecting women. What is a man's obligation to you if you're in a relationship with him? We'll start there, and then we'll kind of, you know, let you listen to what we've been saying, kind of go back. So what is a man obligation to you in a relationship? What kind of things should he do for you? So on and so forth.
You mean protection wise, right?
And no, just in protection, but let's just say in pursuit of you. Movies, dates, dinners, poems, as Jimmy said, all this type of shit. I mean, I just want to know what
I said there was nothing wrong with him being expressive in that way if that's what he does. There are men that are eloquent at writing. If that's what he does, and he's eloquent, he's an eloquent writer and speaker and poet, then if he wants to romance his woman in that way, absolutely. There are some men who aren't eloquent, who cannot write poems, who suck at it, then don't do it. But there are men that are brilliant at that and that are artsy. And
You know,
okay, let's Safaree.
you just got a crush on Lorenz Tate from Love John.
Yeah, let's Safaree. Let's Safaree talk, man. And we gonna go back to Jimmy. No, don't take yourself off of mute. You've been talking a lot. Let her say something. Damn old, let me hog the mic ass nigga. Go ahead, Safaree.
Well, I'm not the type of woman that requires like all of this excessive stuff in order for me to, you know, get what I got. I just gotta be able to listen to my intuition. He has to be, number one, spiritually connected to me. He has to connect with my mind intellectually. So it doesn't matter if he's connecting to my mind via a poem, then, you know, more kudos to him. But I don't need him to spend all these ridiculous amounts of money on dates and shit like that. Like I don't need all that. I just need him to connect with me in, you know, in a spiritual type of way.
Let me ask you this: do you think that women should be giving men advice on how to be men? What's your opinion?
I think women should give men advice on how to be men towards them. Like how a man can show me he's a man towards me. Like how you guys act with your friends and stuff is different. So if I'm telling you, hey, I need you to not do that childish ass shit to me, you do that around your homies. I think a man should listen to me. I think men should listen to women about relationship advice. I don't like when men listen to their homies. Like that's stupid. Y'all killing each other. Opportunity listening to each other.
Wait.
Oh boy.
Wait.
Oh.
Can I? Okay. I think it's a distinction needs to be made.
Okay.
When I hear you say men, those don't sound like men. Those sound like kids that kick it in the street with their home. Men are not going to take that youthful advice. It's not like guys are going to be like college roommates, grown men like, hey man, you know, you need to do this. And no, grown men ain't playing them games.
I seen grown men do this too many times, but I guess you mean men versus males. Because I'm seeing men over 35 listen to their homies about what they should do with women.
But the way you making it sound, them and their homies dusty. So how they gonna be men?
That's what I said. There must be a difference between men and males. You know?
Yeah, it's been a difference between men and males.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do this. Let me go to Steve the Dean because he's ready to work. I
got a question. I got a question. Okay. If he's so dusty and fucked, I'm sorry, Shay, real quick. If he's so dusty and fucked up, why are you fucking him? Why? If he's so immature and all these things that you're saying, why are you giving him the pussy? Why are you fucking this guy if he's these bad things?
Are you asking me this?
Absolutely, yeah. You're saying that you're saying the guy needs to go to his friend. He said a guy that goes to it, your man that goes to his friends for advice and all this other stuff, kicking it with his boys, is not good in your book. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's why he's not getting any pussy. I mean, the man I'm with getting some pussy because he know how to act.
Well, when you say how to act, well, okay, explain, because you say you need to tell women should tell men how to act. So how should a man act around you? Please, let me hear that. How should he act around you? Oh, yeah, the silence. Okay, well, let me tell you how you hear that.
Let her talk.
No, it was frozen. Okay. No, I think that each woman teaches a man how to treat her. So, just how you got what's the young lady name in the paint?
Jimmy. Somebody got a goddamn car in the background. That's Jimmy's damn.
I'm outside. No, I'm outside. That's me.
Okay.
That's me. I'm outside. Like say for instance, Jimmy has a certain way she wants a man to treat her. Safaree does not have that same thing. So me and her are going to teach a man how to treat us in two different ways. If I meet a man who does not know how to listen to me in regards to how to treat me, and he listening to his homies, he's not going to get the pussy. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be able to do anything with me. He's rejected, period, from the beginning. So just because I'm sitting here, you know, saying that women should be able to teach men these things and men should listen, if they don't listen, I'm not gonna screw them. I mean,
so then he's not your man then. So then he's not your man then, right?
Yeah, he's not my man. He will never make it. But you're asking me about men in general, or you're asking me about my man? My man would never be my man. I would never have to teach my man that because he would already know how to do it.
Are you rubbing his feet when he gets home? Are you washing his feet with your hair? Are you cooking for him? Are you sucking his dick and jerking him off? Are you letting him play his video games and go and get the food and sitting in front of him? Are you doing those wonderful things? Are you doing those things?
I'm doing all the wonderful things he wants me to do. Whatever he wants.
And I like that. That's pretty good. But again, this is why women should not teach boys how to be men or try to get in things that they know nothing of. A king is a king. A woman cannot teach a king how to be a king. She can only teach him how to be more like a woman and be more effeminate and more girly-like, more lady-like, more emotional, like the males of the world.
You talking about a mother and son, or
the aspect of how to treat her though?
Well, no, but you women want what you see on TV.
No.
This is not fairy land. And listen. It doesn't matter what
You're
you
not
like. It doesn't matter what you're gonna have to
or
accept.
19 years old. You know what you like. And there's
It
nothing
does.
wrong with a woman knowing what she likes and how she wants to be treated and saying,
Okay.
I like this, I don't like that.
Right, but
That's
here's your
how
problem.
you get along with people.
No,
Oh,
your
you
problem
crossed the
is
line
that
by
you meet a
saying,
guy that you know you don't like, and you suck him for all his resources, and then you either friend zone him or get rid of him. You're not honest with him and letting him know that, you know what, you're not the kind of guy that I like. But how do you know what kind of man he is when you don't even know what a man is? Because a man is a man, regardless of what you think. A man, anybody that compromises his standards is not a man. He's more of a bitch. And I think you women want bitches.
Well, I wasn't going
you want guys, huh?
I wasn't going that deep on rather if a man was a man or not. I'm saying with dealing or dating a man, I'm not saying he's like I'm not talking about dating a childish man or a childish male. I'm talking about a person being with another person and in communication with them and how you relate to one another. If somebody does something you do not like, and you relate to them, I do not like that, you crossed a certain boundary, and communicating that is fine and dandy as a woman to do that to a man, or a man to say that to a woman, because we all have boundaries.
Oh, so I can say
and
as your man,
need to respect each other.
Right?
That's
So
getting along.
Okay, so I can say as your man, I don't like buying you drinks and dinners, and that means I don't have to buy you any drinks and dinners. Then we can communicate. Right?
That's not what I'm talking about.
Well, you just said
about in the levels of relationship respect, like as far as like someone crossing the line.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me just real quick.
They do something that's unmannerable at the dinner table, or somebody says something that's offensive. That's what I mean. Or
okay.
Like when
Jimmy,
you're getting to know someone or growing with them, they don't know what your limitations are. So you have to express those things to one another.
Let me do this real quick, Jimmy. I gotta give a few shout outs, okay? Hold on a second. This is good. I'm sitting back enjoying this. I got a few shout outs to give because my voice wasn't working. This is like my second debate I had on my channel in the last 2 days with two different opposing like mindsets. So I'm loving this right now on this channel. Had the Hoteps on, well, not the Hoteps, the Flat Earthers last night, and the conscious community, and now we're doing this. Let me do this real quick, and we'll continue. Shout out to my man, Minister Jap, with the super chat of $20. Didn't even know he was back in here. He said, stop being a broke-ass Hotep pocket watch, a cheap sack of shit, and break bread with a real nigga. Shout out to my man, Minister Jap. RN Bass for baritone, goddamn Jap, my bad, my nigga. $2. George Rich, $1. Carlos Jean, as always, 1914. He always donates that amount. I think it's a good year. Let's see, Caribbean Freddy again. All right, so I just wanted to say that. Let me kind of go to LAR movement, man, because LAR has been making these meme-worthy faces, like he hasn't been saying much, but there's like a lot of discuss. What's going through your head right now, man? I mean, we got two women on, two different, same kind of point of view. What is it that they don't understand about men that they need to? I think Niambi is coming on too, so it's gonna be 3-on-3. So once again, Nibby Speaks is coming on too.
Here's the thing, like we were talking about earlier, when it comes to old school family structure and now this family structure. Okay, most people are raised in single matriarchal households. So as guys, by the time we grown, we know women. We've been around our mama, our grandmama, our aunties, our sisters, 17 cats in the house. We've been around a lot of feminine energy, but what women haven't been around is masculine energy. So it's just like a black person going to school and learning white history. We know all of y'all tricks and all of y'all stories. What y'all don't know is ours and how to adjust and adapt to ours. So what was winding up happening is, at the end of the day, you have an issue dealing with men on men's terms, because even when they grew up in all these matriarchal settings, they ain't gonna be women. They're gonna still be men at the end of the day. And they're not trying to put their manhood in your purse to make you comfortable.
Yeah.
Can I say something about that? let me say something about that. I think as a man, a real man, to me, a real man is going to compromise with any woman he loves. You know what I mean? Like, to some degree, to me, listen now, I'm the one, I'm in a relationship now.
Are you married?
We're headed there. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah, we're headed there. He's actually listening. He's right here, and he's listening to the stream, and we're talking as you guys are talking. So he's here and he's listening. But for me, because he grew up with both of his parents, he's kind of a different kind of man. He believes in marriage. He believes in monogamy. He believes in a whole bunch of things that a lot of other men wasn't believing in all of this time. And a lot of the men that I was dating before, they didn't have both of their parents. He actually had a good example of what a good marriage would be, or a good relationship, or what good parents would be. So as we're sitting inside of our situation, we do a lot of compromising with each other in regards to what each other wants. So if he says to me he wants something, and maybe I would not have considered doing this type of stuff before, I'll consider it now, because I know in my time of need, if I need him to compromise in something regarding me, he'll do it. You know, just depending on what it is. Now, he does have boundaries. He's not going to, you know, do anything that demasculates him or anything like that. But I feel like real men are not concerned about, I don't know, whether they'll look, I don't know, like you were saying a minute ago before I said something, you said a woman would teach a man how to do feminine things. I'm not, when I ask him to compromise, I'm not asking him to do anything feminine. I'm just asking him to compromise, you know, so we can work together and this relationship can grow.
Can I interject for 1 second?
I'm behind you. I'll be right behind you.
I hear you. This is one of the major issues when having these conversations. Women keep saying what real men should do.
Exactly.
One, and the major problem with that is it's like a fantasy ideology.
Yeah, I haven't said a real man does anything. I haven't said that. I just said what my man does. I haven't said,
because I ain't gonna be long. But the irony of always saying what a man should do and a man is and this, you never hear women say what real women should do.
Thank you.
Would you like to hear what I think real women should do?
But you just,
I can tell you what I think real women should do, if you want to hear it.
But you make your man. Okay.
Before you do that, shout out to Ernest Kwame.
That's what women should do. Y'all been telling us what women should do, and y'all not women.
To get our rings, to get our last name.
Y'all and y'all opinion about what
do you want my ring and my last name? Yes or no?
Criticize you. We just sat here and listened.
Wait, but do you want my ring and my last name? Yes or no? And
woman saying what she likes in a man, because at the end of the day, in a relationship, a woman still approves of a man, whether she wants him to be there or not. We still accept a man.
Only a bitch compromise. A bitch compromises. Let me tell you why a bitch compromises. Well, let me tell you why a bitch compromises. Because, guys, let me tell you this. Don't ever compromise with a woman, because as soon as she changes you, look, she needs to like you for who you are and what you are. There are negotiables.
No. Don't misunderstand.
Between chicken and steak.
Nobody's trying to change you.
No, you just said you're
about changing your whole character.
Wait. Let him finish. Change
the person.
Let him finish, guys.
Let him finish sounding like a bitch. Like, what the
As soon I didn't call your man a bitch. I didn't say your man was a bitch. I'm just saying that if you compromise as a man,
that you said that. Okay, I know my man ain't a bitch. I already know.
Don't turn up.
I'm not okay. All I'm saying is a bitch compromises, gentlemen. There are things called negotiables. You negotiable like at chicken or steak. That's negotiable. Never change who you are for a woman, because as soon as you change, everything's going to change with that, because then she's going to feel like she's taking everything that made you who you were. Everything you were was the reason she went at you in the first place. Then when she has you, all of a sudden she's trying to take shit away from you. Only bitches compromise. So hand over your balls, hand over your spine. Dear, I've been married for 18 years. Say what now? Say what now? 18 years, no problem. Say what now?
Okay, listen.
And I never come.
There's a difference. There's a difference between compromising and changing your character. I'm not coming to my man saying change your character, change what made me love you to begin with. It's dude. If I don't know. What if I want it to be a different temperature in the damn house because I'm
That's
hot?
negotiable.
That's something you can compromise about.
That's a
That's not a
negotiable.
character.
I didn't say anything. That's
Exactly.
negotiable. Okay, well, you got to be more specific because I'm thinking you're trying to change his character.
No, I'm not telling you men should change their character for a woman. Let a woman accept you for who you are. If she doesn't accept you for who you are, you don't need her. Now, if you want me to sit here and tell you what women need to do to be real women, I can tell you that. Because there's a lot of women out here who want a real man but don't know anything about being a woman. You asked me would I rub my man's feet. Yes, I've rubbed his back. I will rub his feet. I will suck his toes if that's what he wants me to do.
Damn. Totally
I know what I'm supposed to do. I got this under control. So it's not, as long as it's a quid pro quo and it's a fair exchange, then I'm good. Shut up. This is what these
Oh shit, Nimmy's in the house! Stop the show! Woo!
We got a triple threat match.
Okay, now we got
Hell in a Cell.
Stop the fucking show. Stop the show. Y'all know my girl Nibby speaks. Y'all know I love me some Nibby. Now we're gonna get some real Democratic left type of, y'all think the fuckery about to get real. Because Nibby got some, and she says it so nice that you can't be mad. It's like, well, hello, well, yeah, that's what I really mean. Okay, Nibby, let me ask you this. Thank you for coming on. We you got much love on this channel. You've been on here before. I don't know if you know Safaree. You know Safaree?
Yes, I did see her on one of your other interviews. Hello.
Okay. Hello. Oh, Safaree.
Hi, Nibby. Your name's Nibby? Nibby? Nibby, nice to meet you.
My name is Naomi, but I go by Nibby.
Oh, okay, Naomi. I like Naomi. That's nice. I like that.
So we got Jimmy. So that's Jimmy from Cali. You know, likes to talk a lot. That's Jimmy. But let me ask you this, Nibby. We having a relationship about relationships, and you know we have two different beasts. We got Steve, me, and Elliot. I'm a fucking misogynist. I don't give a damn who don't like it. I am. But let me ask you this, and you know that, Nibby. But Nibby, do you think that men should give advice to women should give advice to men in relationships? Do you think that is important, and why? Like, should you give relationship advice? Let's say I'm struggling. Let's say, you know, would you think women should tell men advice in relationships or how to date?
Maybe to give the woman's perspective, but other than that, I don't see how that will work because
yes.
At the end of the day, you know, I don't know what it is like to be a man, but I could possibly give you some information on what a woman could be feeling or what a woman would want, possibly.
Damn, that's a good answer.
Yep, good answer.
Okay, so now let me ask you this, because I know you're a very talented person. You're a very bright and astute person. No disrespect to all the women here.
Hold on one second.
Okay. Get a collard green sandwich, y'all. But let me ask you this, Jimmy, because she says she don't think that y'all should give advice to men because she don't know what it is to be a man. What you gotta say about that, sucker? That's a red. What you gotta say about that, Jimmy? Look, now you want to act like you all sleepy and shit. You tired now? Now you sleepy?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
You're talking to me?
Yes, you. Jamisha.
You wanna do no.
Oh, hold on. She's back. Nibby's back. Hey, Nibby. Hey. Nibby, let me ask you this. As far as you know, this is concerned, like what I mean in a relationship, because you know, what do you think a man is required to do? Let's say for you personally, you know, if you're in a relationship, I know you said before you were married and everything like that before, but what should a man do for Nibby in your opinion? What if a man needs to be with you, what are your requirements? What are you requiring from him?
In a relationship?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm in a funny point in my life. Like, I've been married, so right now I don't even really know what I want. But in a serious relationship, I would require someone who is a provider. And someone who can adhere to the terms of our relationship, whatever we agree on in the beginning. So honesty and a provider. Those are two very important things for
me. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, ask me.
Well, riddle me this. So if you're living together and y'all are staying in the same house, does he have to give you money if you don't have money for gas?
I wouldn't be living with someone who couldn't or wouldn't, who would even have to question something like that to begin with.
Well, okay, can I ask you another question then? Why is it his responsibility to pay for something that you should be paying for yourself? If you stop buying the purses and dresses and shoes and save your money, right, you would, be able to pay for your own gas. I understand him paying half the bills and you paying half the bills, but
yeah,
why should he have to give you money when you should be responsible enough as an adult to take care of your own responsibilities?
Yeah. It really depends on the terms of the relationship. If my requirement is that you should come out of pocket when I ask you to, then you agree to that. If you don't agree to something like that, then you wouldn't be with me.
But wait. Why do I have to come out of my pocket again? If you're a mature, responsible woman, again, this is a value thing, shows no value here. If you're a mature, responsible woman, why do I have to pay for something that you should be responsible for? Why are you putting the onus and then threatening to leave me because I won't pay it? So what kind of relationship do we have?
Well, you know what? I think relationships should be 50-50. So I would never ask for something that I'm not willing to give. So just as quick as I'll ask you for money, if I were to do that, I would give you money if you needed it, if my partner were to need it.
Let me give you some. I'll be fair to Nibby. Let me give you some. Hold on a second, Jimmy. Let me give you some background on Nibby. So for y'all who are not familiar, Nibby is living currently in the Dominican Republic. She comes from I don't know if the might say upper elite family. Her dad's a physician. So when she says provider, this is what she's used to seeing her dad do. So she's not coming from maybe a typical, like I was broke coming up. I nigga cheese sandwiches, motherfucking powdered milk, throw the water in there, frosted flakes, ramen noodles. This is what I was fucking with for a minute. Nibby is not coming from that type of, she said it the last show. She's upper elite, high upper middle class black. So that's what she's used to, that's what she said she's looking for, a provider. That's how she grew up.
But O'Shea, this is the point I try to make to the men out there to make these women qualify. Why would you guys want to invest in a woman who cannot take care of herself? And you got to come off your ends to give her, because that's a red flag. Why would you want to live with, engage, or get married to someone who is not self-sufficient, who's not responsible, who cannot handle money? This is why I always say this. And again, I'm glad she comes from that background. That's great. But again, when we're living together, this is how it's going to be. We'll get a joint bank account and I'll take half. We'll have separate accounts, but we'll have a joint one and we'll pay all the bills. That means I'm going to pay half my bills in that account. You pay half your bills. Now, whatever you have accumulated before we met, that means if you have debt and all this other stuff, that is not my concern to pay that. You don't have my last name. So I have no reason or right to have to pay for something for someone who doesn't have my last name. Now, if you have my last name, then we got to talk about the bills and you got to clean up your credit score and all other stuff to get my last name. But I just want to say this thing real quick, O'Shea. This is the problem with men. See, a lot of men don't know their value and worth of their last name. They want to give their last names away like ice cream candy or Halloween candy to these women without letting them qualify to even be worth their last name. You don't want to be with a woman who can't afford to pay her own gas. Get the fuck out of here, man. No offense to you, but I'm just saying, I'm just talking to my guys.
Let me do this. I'll go back to Nitty, but shout out to my man, Men Style by Kevin Samuels, man. I would bring you in on it. I don't know. We'll see, because I'm not actually debating anymore. I'm actually moderating, so I might be able to bring in one more person. But Nitty, you did say this. Steve makes a great point. Nibby said she's looking for a provider. Now let me ask her what she means when she says a provider. What do you mean when you say provider, Nibby? Do you mean 100%? What's the percentage here? When you said provide what as into how much? I'm trying to find out.
At least half.
At least half,
if not all. At least half. Yes.
If not all, okay. So you and Steve are at least in agreement that 50% is a number that you can come to the terms with.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm not gonna ask for anything that I cannot give. So,
but I'm not going to give you anything that you asked for just because you asked for it. Because I'm going to ask you the next question is, what are you doing with your money? Where are you spending your money? Why are you wasting your money away when you should be saving it or doing something with it where you can afford your own gas? And look, if you're my wife, yes, I would do that. But if we're just sleeping together or roommate, you live with me, I'm not going to pay for your gas or any of your bills because I expect you to handle your own stuff.
Yes, that makes sense to me. I don't have any qualms about it.
I know Jay doesn't. I'm sure Jay's met Jay. Go ahead. I know she's ready to get in my ass. Go ahead, Jay. She ready.
He's always ready to get somebody else. Oh, hold on a second. We have a question. Hold on a second. What's all that noise in the background? Hold on. We got a lot of somebody got kids and shit. Who got kids?
It's children, okay? It's children over my house. Children.
Kids?
Okay, it's kids.
Hold on, man. You even got no kids. You got kids over there. It's bad as hell.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on a second. Stop the show. All right, hold on a second. Let me do this because Jimmy got 15 people at our goddamn house. There's a question, and we're gonna go to LAR, then back to Nibby. And Nibby's kind of fair. On something. It's a little fair, more fair than Jimmy. Yeah. Jimmy just way over. This motherfucker left and shit. But this guy asks, what about a real economical cheap guy? Should the guy compromise? Okay, so let me ask Safaree to answer this super chat question. I want to get her opinion on it, and then we'll move around the panel. So Safaree, this guy says, what about a real economical guy? He's a little bit cheap on the pockets. Should he compromise, and how should he compromise if you have a guy that's real economical, kind of tight-fisted with his money? What's your advice for? What do you think about that situation?
I'm economical. I'm economical myself. I'm the Groupon.com type of woman. I'm the let's go to the park and do something free type of woman. Like, that's how I am. So to me, any guy who's like that, he needs to find a woman who is like that. Like, these men like to go after these women who are, want the new handbag and the new shoes. See, I don't give a fuck about none of that. So you got to find a woman who is like that. It's not even really about compromising. It's just finding a woman who is the type of woman that don't care about materialistic stuff. Like me, I can go do a dollar movie or the drive-in movie or something that's cheap and not feel some kind of way. A lot of women feel like if you take them to a 4-star restaurant, that means you value them more. I don't care about that. And it's okay for women to be like that if that's what they want to be, but you got to be that man. And as Homeboy was saying about men who are providing, they were arguing back and forth, not arguing, but they were discussing providers. My thing about that is there are some men out there who have money, but all they want their woman to do is spend their money. It's men out there who just want to provide for their woman and they don't want their woman to do nothing. I've had men come to me and say, hey, all I want you to do is be my wife. You don't have to work. You don't have to do any of that. So not every man is the same. Just like not every woman is the same. I want a provider, but I don't want him to pay for everything, you know. I want him to be able to pay for stuff when I can't pay for it. If I happen to be the provider or the breadwinner, then I pay for everything, because the relationship is not built off of money and finances. It's built off of love and support and friendship and that type of thing to me.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, who's next?
Yeah.
Are we going to line? Who's the order? What's the order? What's
Okay,
the order,
okay,
O'Shea?
okay. So let's go to LAR movement, and then we'll go to Nibby. All right, LAR. This guy is an economical cheap guy. Should he compromise? I think I know what you're going to say for sure, but you know, what advice would you give to the economical guys, to the guys who are a little bit more tight-fisted?
It's when we talking about women, it's a double standard. If a guy's cheap, she ain't gonna want to talk to him because he ain't spending enough money on her. If a woman's cheap, it's okay because I'm a woman. Let's just be honest about how this goes. You know, same thing with the provider thing. It's okay for a man to be a provider. The question is, what do you provide the provider? You know, but you know, just like and Safaree said, if she was the breadwinner, you know, she would pay for it. But she's not saying that when women do that, that comes with a time limit. Could be 2 days, 2 weeks, you know, 37 hours. You know, she paid one too many times, it's over.
Yeah. Unless, well, I'm gonna leave that alone. Let me go to Nibby. Let me go to Nibby. Nibby, what you drinking on, girl? You drinking on some Dominican Hennessy?
Yes, some Dominican rum, but
What? Okay, it was working with, girl. What is it working with, girl? What is it working with, girl?
If a guy is economical and cheap, I like guys who are very careful with their money. If I see that a guy will spend on anything, I don't want him. So I don't mind a very cheap guy who's willing to save and invest in future generations. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want a spender. I don't want your bags. I don't want your clothes. You know that doesn't impress me. I'm a minimalist. You guys know that. So I like the cheap guy.
Yeah, because I've seen your Dominican, you know, because you're actually shout out to Nibby in the Dominican Republic, so I'll give her credit for that. You know, that's true because from what I've seen, and she's talked about it. Let me do this. We're gonna go to Jimmy in a minute. Jimmy, I know you're ready to talk, but let me do this real quick, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We had 2 back-to-back banging ass shows. My panel was awesome. Shout out to Safaree. We probably gonna do, me and Safaree gonna do another one-on-one because she made a video. I'm not gonna work together with black men. Did she leave? Is she gone?
She might be back. It might have cut off or something.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not gonna work with no more black male YouTubers no more. I emailed her, let's do a show. What time? I'm like, bipolar. So shout out to her. Let's go to Jimmy. Y'all hold on. While y'all doing this, like the video, okay? I'm uploading my newest blog. I just came back from Africa. I was there for 10 days. So I'm uploading my newest blog right now to be up in a few minutes. Oh, Sansaree's back. Okay, shout out to Safaree. So let's like the videos, fam. 202 watching. Get the likes up. You niggas are stingy with the likes. Get the video, like it, like. Get them up. I need it. All right. So let's rock here with Jimmy. Okay, Jimmy, you ready? Is he? What, are you sitting by a cement or something? What the hell? What is that? Do you have like? Take yourself off mute, girl. You on mute. Off of mute.
Off of mute. Unmute you. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. What advice do you have for a minimalist?
My background. I'm doing stuff, okay?
You ain't doing a damn thing.
Mind your business. Yes, I am, actually.
Nothing. All right. What advice do you have for compromising? Should a cheap guy have to compromise?
Should a cheap guy try to compromise? See,
yeah, economical guy.
I mean, me personally, and I don't feel anybody can judge me, and I don't care because I'm not a cheap person, so I don't really care. Like, I'll bargain shop, that's fine. But I'm not a cheap person, period. Like, if I buy someone a gift, I'm not going to buy them the cheapest gift ever. Like, I show people that I care. I'm not that type of person. So, however, if you're a cheap person, you need to be probably with a cheap person because they understand your cheapness. I mean, and I don't feel like anybody can judge a cheap person or judge a person that's lavish. If they like nice things, you can't judge them because guess what? I live for me. You live for you. You do whatever you like doing. You can't judge me. Like whatever I like is what I like. So it is that way because I have to answer for my life. Nobody else can answer for that. So that's just how I see it. If you're a person, be with a cheap person that'll understand your cheap.
I'm doing something cheap right now. I'm cheaping it out. Me and my man, we sitting at the park right now with a bottle of wine, and we just sitting out chilling. Cheap.
Oh, nothing's wrong with that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you talk about cheap, my aspect of cheap, I'm not talking about enjoying things that don't cost money. Nothing's wrong with that. What I'm talking about is like a person who's gonna buy somebody like they know. Okay, listen, like a man who's gonna propose to a woman with a cubic zirconium when he knows he has enough money to buy her a real diamond. That's some cheap stuff. And now, if the woman is okay with that cubic zirconium, then he needs to be with that woman who is okay with a cubic zirconium. Period.
Can I talk to O'Shea?
Yeah, go ahead. You know.
So much for liking a guy for who he is. See, this is what I'm talking about. You know, chat room, everybody listen to chat room. All my chat room guys out there. Isn't it funny that women over 30 all of a sudden have this epiphany of being nice and wanting cheap things and doing all these things that they didn't want to do when they was 18 to 29 years old, when they started making all these rules, laws, and codes. It's all when they get over 30, when they get over that hump and they realize the eggs are drying up, the crow's feet are coming in, the metabolism slowing down. Then all of a sudden they want to be Miss Betty Homemaker, where they're like, well, I like cheap things and I like this and I want to be a good girl and I want to listen and I want to. They never want to do that shit when they were 18 to 29. This is what I'm talking about, guys. All this.
Well, I know for me, I always wanted it.
Well, but it goes back to what I'm saying. If this was the case about this woman or these women, not these women, I'm not going to use these women because I'm not going to be disrespectful. Any woman over 30 saying the things that these women are saying, let's say it like that way, they would have been married already. Now, I know this one from the Dominican Republic, she doesn't count because she's outside the United States, so she gets a pass because I always say that, you know, women outside the States are much better anyway. But what I'm saying, when you have women that say this bullshit, guys, do you hear them? If you give me a cubic zirconia, you need to be with a woman that is going to accept the cubic zirconia. What about but isn't this the same person that said, well, I want a guy for him and who he is and what he can, but now you're making it about what he gives you.
Hold on. You have to listen to both dynamics. I didn't say things one-sided. I said I'm not a cheap person. So when I buy people's gifts, I won't go to the 99-cent store. I'm going to buy people things that they like. So that's how I express myself to people that I know and care about. That's
right.
How I am. I'm not expecting anybody to be exactly like me. I'm not expecting anybody to want the things that I want out of a relationship. I'm a me. So
can I interject for a moment?
Else, and I don't feel anybody can judge anybody for what they expect out of a relationship or what they like. All I said was, if someone, to stop an argument, if a man is cheap and he buys a woman a cubic zirconium, he definitely couldn't buy a woman who's into diamonds and values diamonds a cubic zirconium because she would have a problem with that.
Okay. Problem is
so if you find a woman who is okay with a cubic zirconium as a ring, then that's what he needs. That's what I'm saying. That's common sense. That's logic. How can you argue with that?
I'm glad you said that.
About that.
Like, this
so
is.
If I like something, he got to do what I like.
What you like? I get him.
This is the thing.
If he likes something, I got to do what he likes.
Oh boy.
it's a two-way street. It's not one-sided.
There you go. And that's what I was about to interject about. If it's a two-way street,
Period.
and here's the thing about when sometimes when females talk to men, well, women talk to men about certain things, it's not really a two-way street in action. It's a two-way street in feeling. Because what guys are expected to do and guys are judged about their actions, what winds up happening is women say, you know, well, I would if the opportunity presented itself, if somebody asked me, it's not an action. It's more so of a I say it, but I'll never really do it unless I'm put on the spot. You know what I'm saying? And that same logic that you was talking about, that's what men have a problem with. Because if you logical when it comes to you getting what you want, and all of a sudden you illogical in it, and it's all about feelings when it comes to giving what somebody else wants, we're gonna have an issue.
We know this. That's common sense.
Exactly. We're saying we know this too. So there's no reason to play stupid with us.
Example though, I was gonna say this as an example. Like I was dating someone and they asked me to do something for them, and I went and purchased something for them that him and I were dating, and he asked me to purchase something, and he was like, "I'm okay with the cheap brand," and I said, "No, I'm not buying you the cheaper brand. I'm gonna buy you the upper level brand of it," and I did because that's just how I am.
But Jimmy,
no.
Hold on. No.
Just how I
Here's
am.
the thing. When you say that, I get that story. But when you're dealing with men have a million stories like that. Normally, when we talk to women, they got like 3-4 stories in their adult life of actually going out of their way doing something for a guy in that way. So what we're saying is we do so much we don't even recall the things we do. And we're not getting we're not getting that in return. It's like that one time at band camp type of thing when we have these conversations.
Can I say something? Are y'all done? Y'all going back and forth?
No, you got it.
I'm
okay,
done.
so listen. I've been engaged like 3 times. All right. Before I got to this point, this goes back to this whole whether I was a nice woman before 30 bullshit that this guy was over here talking about. I've always been like this really, really sweet woman, and being sweet got me nowhere. I was just being this nice catering ass woman, and it got me nowhere. And I realized after all of this time, finally, when I met the guy that I'm dating right now, I learned all the things that I learned in order for me to be with him, because all of the beautiful things that I used to do to other guys, they never deserved that kindness. And now I'm finally with somebody who actually deserves all of the sweet things that I do. But I can tell you this, just how nice guys get walked over by, all kinds of women, that happens to us as well, because I was just this nice ass woman that was getting walked over like crazy. And so for a long time, I just decided I didn't even want to be that woman anymore. And even then niggas was still trying to play games. But it isn't age. It isn't because I'm 35 that I've just now decided, well, I want to be a little bit more flexible in regards to my standards. It's just that I've decided to grow. Like everybody grows. If a woman didn't lower her standards before in regards to choosing men, at a certain age, she decides to do so because you grow, you learn more, you get better, you do different. So it's not a bad thing that these women have decided over 30 that they want to change who they are and be better for men.
Well,
no, it's not he's not saying it's a bad thing. What he's saying is it's kind of odd that when your value drops, all of a sudden you become a genius on treating people better.
That's ridiculous. But that's ridiculous that you think because a woman is over 30, her value drops. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you niggas?
No. I'll be happy to tell you why your value drops. Your metabolism slows down. You start to get fatter. Your eggs dry up. That means you can't give me kids. You get wrinkles.
This is coming from a man who's supposedly been married for what?